Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I am so delighted that you could join me today because today I'm doing a special kind of reading here. As you can see, I have a candle, a white candle, and some water, and this is a special technique that I sometimes use for tuning in, tapping into the energies. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to light the candle and then I'm going to touch it into the water and see what messages come through from the Divine Masculine Collective. Okay, so you can't see me today. I am here. Look, I'm here. But you can see, look, Donkey's here. See? Donkey's here. And I don't know. He'll be watching the whole thing. We'll just pop him. We'll pop him back up here, and we've got the swearing bell just in case. And Cookie's up here in his nest. So we're all here. Harry's having a conversation, a deep and meaningful with Charlotte. So they're all good. Okay, I'm just gonna have a little sip of water. And now we're going to get into the Divine Masculine channeling. Okay, so I'm going to call it my candle water reading. Okay, so here we go. You ready? We're tapping in now. Okay, just let me tap into the energy. Okay, so for the Divine Masculine Collective, I can see that we're really building something. Okay, Divine Masculine is trying to build something here. I feel like there's this lucky clover kind of feeling, like he's realized just recently how important you are. And he's trying to build a foundation so that he can come to you. For many of you, you are seeing birds as messengers and birds as signs. And many of you are connecting to music. We have a music note here, and we also have a bird, which is also kind of looking very like an aeroplane. So many of them wanting to come across water. Okay, you're going to hear a sizzling here. Okay, this is the passion of your Divine Masculine coming through, and it's very, very strong. This is a love that's deeper than just a sexual connection here. We have this wanting to go deeper, this wanting to alight this beautiful foundation with you. Wow, can you hear that? This is how Divine Masculine is feeling towards the connection. And in fact, he wants to go deeper. He is thinking, wow, look at this. Okay, you can see how the candle wants to go out a little bit. Okay, some of them are lacking in energy at this time. We're just going to wait for it to come back again. We've dropped the wick there. Some of them have a need to go into water. Okay, so if you get a chance to speak with your Divine Masculine, tell him to take more water inside of himself. So, drinking more water, and then tell him to take a beautiful, nice, relaxing bath or bubble bath. I'm hoping it's not going to go out. Divine Masculine, stay with us. There we go. That's how tired he is. Just bear with me. Okay, some of them working very, very hard. Okay. There is this warmth here. There's this definite warmth here as he decides. I'm just tapping in. Wow. Okay. there's this spiritual growth coming through for divine masculine. I can see the lotus flower here. He's growing spiritually, and he's realizing that he's more than just a physical body, okay? He's understanding that he has a soul, and that his soul knows that you need him, okay? This is really beautiful energy. He's putting all the pieces together here, and for some of them, they like to play video games. Okay, that won't resonate for all of you. Okay. What else do you want to tell us, divine masculine? Here we go. Into the water a little bit. Here we go. Oh, wow. Okay, so there's been a few tears here for some divine masculines, realizing the connection, realizing that you are the star in their life, and that nothing else really seems to matter unless you are here. This is many of them believing that even though they have family, you are their true family. You're connecting the dots, divine feminine. This is very beautiful. I'm also getting angel coming through. Many of the divine masculines believe that their divine feminines are angels. Okay, so when they take a look at you and they compare you to other women or other females in their life, whether that's family or just, women in general, they feel as though you are so much more special, so much more sacred, because you love them unconditionally. And for some of you, the moose or the deer is going to be important. Maybe where you live there are moose. I don't know how you say the plural of moose, but there's mooses, I don't know. We don't have them here in Australia, but I can see that, even Christmas time for some twins is going to be important here. What else do you want to say, divine masculine? Okay, so we've got a clock now. Time is ticking. Many of them believe and have put themselves under a time frame now. So they've got a plan. You may not know about it. They may not have told you, but there is this plan here. It's like a trumpet calling them. And again, we have the aeroplane here, signifying that many of them are making plans to come through, to come forward. Okay, what else, divine masculine? Many of the divine masculines right now, as we speak, will be sleeping in their country, wherever they are. And many of them are finding it difficult to open their heart chakra. Okay, their heart chakra will close off when people around them are being forceful or nasty or unkind in some way. And I can feel that sometimes the divine masculine feels very alone. Okay, so this blackness that he's been feeling here with, relation to his karmic situation, it's kind of like he feels, I'm seeing a fish now, so it's like a fish out of water. He feels like a fish out of water. Or some of you may also resonate with being the black sheep of the family. So they feel different in some kind of way. And although they're doing all the right things, trying to, help the family or help their karmic, they do feel like it's not where their passion lies. Okay, so yeah, we've got this blackness coming through now, and it's covering them a little bit. And so there's this need for cleansing here, this need for cleansing in a spiritual way, and also in a mental way. There's this need for them to find a healthy way to ignore or push away the thoughts. And we have the dove here representing peace and the willingness of the divine masculine to make peace with those around him. He definitely doesn't like arguing here, although he's had to go into some arguments with some of the people around him. Okay. What else do you want to tell us, divine masculine? Many of these divine masculines love flowers, or they want to give their divine feminine flowers. We've also got the egg here, so some of them, maybe they have I don't know, like a protein shake, or a like eggs in the morning or something, if they're lifting weights or going to the gym or something like that. When they're exercising or taking time on their own, I can see that they're listening to music here. They're listening to different types of music and trying to connect with the feminine in that kind of way. And that's a really beautiful way. Some of them, are feeling those songs and perhaps crying, or feeling those songs and feeling even more connected to the feminine. There is this definite feeling, though, again, of, time is ticking. Time is ticking. I've, not wasted my life, but I've spent so much time with these other people who don't care about me in the same way. And so divine masculine is trying to fill his life with the idea of coming into union with divine feminine. This is a really beautiful, loving reading, because he's taking it step by step. He's planning here, and sometimes his plans get I don't know, what's the word, duped, or there's some kind of situation that comes in the way of it, but he doesn't lose sight of those plans. And this is incredibly wonderful, because let me just delve into the next part here. Yeah. So he sees the toxicity in the people around him. He sees the difference in how divine feminine is treating him, and it's making him really have this shift. So, if we could draw a line in between, the karmic life and the twin flame life, it would be kind of something that he sees the difference in, and it's not a scenario where he's saying the grass is greener at all. He's not saying the grass is greener. He just knows where the love is, and so he's so wanting to go there, because he's already experienced the no love, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and so the energy again, when he's experiencing no love from the karmic, see how it goes down when I'm talking about this? Okay, so stay with us, divine masculine. Let's see what else you want to say. Okay, so I'm getting now that he's taking methodical steps in planning. So there may be paperwork involved here. For some of them, they may be getting out of a current connection, or thinking about getting out of a current connection. And there's this definite movement. It's like he wants to cross, I'm not sure what those people are called that climb mountains, but if you were a mountain climber, you go and you buy the rigging, and then you make sure you've got the right shoes, and you make sure you've planned for I don't know, the food and the supplies that you need. So he is really contemplating all of this. So if you're in separation from your divine masculine at the moment, and usually he's coming in more often, it's because he's taking the time to plan here. And in fact, there's this massive love heart coming up now. He's really feeling the love. He wants to be inside of the love with you, and he's really definitely sick of not having the love. Okay, so he's felt the non-love, and look at this blackness coming down now. It's like a toxic puddle, you know. It's someone's name, divine masculine's name. I don't know if you can see that there, but it looks like a sea. Okay, or he likes the sea. Okay, so your divine masculine may have a name that starts with C. Your name might start with C, but that's coming through for someone now. Okay, so in the middle and central to his life is this toxic situation where, you know, he's expected to behave in a certain way. There's the old paradigm of, you know, go to work, make the money, make everyone around you happy. And he feels like he's saturated in this. And so for some of them recently, in the recent past, they tried out this, just quickly, an O is also coming through. So some of your divine masculines may have an O in their name, or their name may start with O. And I'm also getting A coming through. Okay, so many of them feel like they've had, they've tried to change, they perhaps even tried to change their course of their work, or you know, something else to make money on the side or make more money, and this kind of may not have worked for them. So they've kind of gone back into what they were doing before, knowing that there is, you know, a definite wage coming through, or a definite knowing coming through there. But they're deciding to kind of save separately from the karmic here. And many divine feminines who are also in karmic situations with someone other than their twin flame, they're also doing the same. You know, they're trying to save this money outside of, you know, whether they're married or in a partnership or something. And there is an elephant here. I don't know why that's significant, but perhaps your divine masculine is, you know, African, or, you know, I don't know, you went to the zoo together, or you talk about something to do with elephants here. I'm also getting the elephant walk, which I think is a song. But so now, you know, he feels like he's cocooned in this love. So the only thing that really works for him now is the love. And that, for some divine masculines, has taken a really, really long time. But now he knows it's there. It's like this waterfall coming down. And he kind of sees your relationship together as, you know, a tree. He kind of feels as though it's growing. He feels like, you know, if you could imagine, I don't know, I always like to, when I'm imagining trees, I always think of broccoli, you know, the vegetable broccoli. For some of you, that might also be significant. But, you know, it's like you're growing this beauty inside of you as a twin flame, and you're also helping your divine masculine or feminine here. And look at this ring about to drop off now. This is, you know, signifying that many of them are thinking of marriage, or have perhaps already proposed to you. They don't want anyone else. Even if they're in a karmic partnership with someone else, there's a feeling of no one else can make my day, no one else can make my life, no one else can alight my senses in the way that divine feminine can. And many of the divine masculines too are realizing that, they gain strength from you and you also gain strength from them. And so it's this beautiful synergy that's going on. They come in, perhaps you're having a bad day and so they help you, or maybe they're having a bad time and you support them. And it's this synergistic, I wasn't going to use the word marriage, but I'm going to say sacred marriage, where you know that you belong to one another. You know that you fuel each other in this beautiful fire of delight, I'm going to call it. And the other thing Divine Masculine wants to say is that he feels as though the Divine Feminine is like a nectar, or like this nutrient or supplement that comes to him and nourishes him. And he also feels that when he can help Divine Feminine in some way, that the connection blossoms and glows. So if she comes in and says, look, I really don't know what to do about this, and then he comes in and says, well, why don't you do this, and it works, then he kind of feels like a little bit of a hero in the connection. And he loves this because the other people around him in his karmic life, they don't make him feel that way. They make him feel broken, and they make him feel as though he's not quite heard. And so I see him for many of them, they kind of love you so much that they want to even like cook for you, or I don't know, there's something in relation to cooking here, or I don't know, he maybe imagines you cooking together or something like that, and he just wants to nourish you in some kind of way. I'm also seeing here that many of the Divine Masculines perhaps go running or do some kind of sport here, and this is what helps them to clear their mind mentally. And the Divine Masculine is also saying that it would be a great idea for some Divine Feminines to just, when they're feeling stressed, perhaps go for a walk, or do a little bit of exercise, just to clear your head, because sometimes everything can feel as though it's being forced down. We're getting a purple flame coming through, which tells me that the Divine Masculines also got this telepathic communication that's coming through with you. And for some of them, they kind of don't understand what's going on. They sort of just think it's, that they're connected with you and they're obsessed with you. They don't really get that it's happening on a telepathic or ethereal level. And so it's very beautiful as they make their way through the journey and realize that the connection is so deep that you can feel one another when the heart space becomes open. Because for those of them who do have a closed heart space, all they're wanting to do now is to open it up so that they can bring that love to you. It's a intense and deep connection. It's a connection that makes them feel as though anything toxic in their life doesn't matter now. Anything in the way of the connection is irrelevant. And I love now we have literally two halves to that ring that just needs to be joined together. They're wondering, how can I join this together now? Now that I know that she's the one, now that I know that she lights my fire, now that I know that she's the one going to give me this love, how can I bring this ring to her, this promise to her, so that it lasts a lifetime? We have this intense sexual desire also coming through the divine masculine, seeing that it is far more than sex, it is far more than anything he's ever experienced before. I mean, it's even similar to how, a river is an estuary that feeds into the beautiful ocean. It's like he feels that you feed him. And so as you feed him, he also desires to give back. It's this infinity symbol, this wedding ring or marriage that's so sacred, he can't even compare it to other relationships that he's had. And so the last part of the reading now is that he is desperate to keep himself. Wow, something just fell down. That's beautiful. He's desperate to not let the walls come down, as in anything that's blocking the connection. He doesn't want that to happen. So he's trying to allow his walls to stay down, and even if he's having some karmic issues, he's trying to blot them out. He's trying to block them out. So he's putting up a wall to the karmic people in his life, and then he's coming back to divine feminine with love. So he may even be getting angry with those people in his life. He may even be shutting those people out so that he can spend more time with divine feminine. And the last part here is so beautiful, because he's imagining kissing you. He's doing this sensual kind of thing where he's placing his lips, on your neck or on your wrist or on your arm, or all over your body. He's really taken by you sexually, like no one else lights his fire the way divine feminine does. And so there's this immense opening and this taking back of power from the solar plexus, and it's spanning upward and into the intuition. And although he's kind of closing off his heart with regard to the karmic, he then is managing to open it again for the divine feminine. It's it's a big skill that he's kind of learning. Even though he shouldn't block off his heart chakra, he should allow the energy to flow through him. But he's learning that with her he feels safe. With her he feels good. There could be also some bladder and bowel issues, issues with pooping. I'm going to say pooping, going to the toilet, for many divine feminines and masculines. This is just the current circumstances in the world right now, where the planet is on its way to awakening, and sometimes there are certain symptoms that come with that. Many people would call them ascension symptoms. And there is this definite knowing in him that, even if he's tired and coming home from work or something like that, and he wants to just think of divine feminine. So, he may come home, have a shower and put music on, look at the pictures of her, or go on her social media, and just, he's feeling into the connection. Many of them are imagining their life with divine feminine, and this is expanding, and it's such a beautiful and poignant time for divine masculines at the moment. The only blocks are really this coming together. Maybe they have to travel to you in some kind of way, and maybe there are karmics in the way, and money can also be an issue. But he's smart enough and intelligent enough to push through those barriers, and he's really seeing, you know, other people for what they are, and then comparing them to divine feminine and going, yep, this is all what I've needed. And the wick has fallen off the candle now, and it's, you know, it's just burning into its last piece here. But it's like he still wants to stay alive. He still wants to let you know how much he loves you. You know, he doesn't just love you, he wants to care for you. He doesn't just love you, he wants to take care of you. He doesn't just love you, he wants to share his life with you. And he's realizing that how he feels matters. And that's the most important part of this whole reading, is that he's actually linking the two together, and really understanding that, you know, what he does also affects you. And there's your candle reading, candle water reading for today. I hope you really enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments. And I'm sending you love, light, and blessings from Australia. And I hope you have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And my hand says bye. And I'll see you real soon. Bye, everyone. Bye.